공인.
When there's a lot of pressure. When there's stunners, you know, when you catch a hero out, it kind of, you know, slows the game down, shuts the game down, and then you can kind of turn the game.
And the Chinese crowd, of course, getting in on one of our favorite pastimes from last year is Earthshaker banging the drum on the main stage. Yeah, I think that was one of my favorite moments in Vancouver, as well as Ogre, of
Ogre
course.
claps, yeah.
Yeah. Easy clap.
We haven't seen much Ogre, I believe, in the main stage, have we?
Not compared to group stages, which is really odd. Again, a hero that it's been played mostly as core in this tournament, a hero that relieves that economic pressure with the multicast Midas.
So one of the interesting things, I think, is that in the group stage at the start, a lot of people were going a lot of armor items.
Right.
And now people are going more towards magical and these team fight spells a little more than in the group stage. So there's more like Earthshakers and like this Ogre hero. He was really good against his physical damage. You're going Solar Crest, Basilius, Phase Boots, all these kind of things on these like heroes. And now that a lot more heroes are magic based, Ogre's kind of fallen out. This like 8 armor, you know, 700 HP level 1 hero isn't great anymore.
Wow, so the Grimstroke here is interesting because there are not that many single target spells on the side of range potential of the Earthshaker. Grimstroke's another card that gives you magic damage from way back in the back lines.
It's also a really scary tri lane if they want to do with the Grimstroke. If he puts Ixwell on either the Jug or Tree or Mag, there's 3 melee heroes already for him. Any of them is going to get, like, you either punch from the tree line of a tree, you just spin on them with a Jug, you wrap around, skewer them back into you with the Mag. So I think either of those heroes can be their, you know, their force.
And what do you want against a hero, a support in the back line that's a little bit squishy? You want reach, and that's this Ember Spirit pick right here. He does have to worry a little bit about the silence coming out from the Grimstroke, but again, you can slide a fist to deal with that.
So this pick, I think, is a little scary this game because of the root changes. Tree gives you a lot of roots, and the Grimwolf gives you a lot of root.
Yeah, that's true.
And now you can't Slight out of roots anymore, and you cannot Fire Remnant out of roots anymore. So there's a lot more of these mechanics that you can kind of get caught by. So I think it's still a good pick. It does well against tree armor. It does well against a Grim if you can ever jump in the back line. Even Jug, it's hard for him to Omni. You can either disjoin it with your Sleight of Fist, or you can join it by, you know, jumping away. Even the Mag, you can kind of annoy, chain him in the back lane. He can't get blinks. So I like the overall pick, but I'd be scared if he gets caught out by these roots in the mid game.
Do you worry a little bit, like we started out talking about the Enchantress, about this is a hero that forms the foundation of a very solid laning phase. Do you worry a little bit about OG punishing the Ember in lane with their last pick in the hands of Thompson? Something like a Monkey King can just ruin Ember's life.
I mean, I think it's very likely, especially if Newbee now pick a hero that is kind of locked into the safe lane. I think something that would be good for them is if they have an open pick that can perhaps interchange with the Ember, of them both going into mid lane.
Maybe like a Gyro?
Something like that. As I think OG will for sure punish this Ember. If they know he's gonna be middle, they will counter pick him hard.
I think CCNC's gotten really good at the laning with Ember. A lot of players have practiced Ember versus Monkey matchups, and they kind of know the timings now. Like before level 3, the Jingu is actually really weak, so you can actually out-trade him with your Flame Guard. But once you hit level 3, level 4, you have to move away from you. I think they're going to be comfortable putting this Ember mid and knowing that CCNC is going to have a game.
All right, as we see the final pick coming out from Newbee, this is more than likely going to be a safe lane Sven in the hands of UR. Gunnar correctly calling that Newbee are comfortable with the CCNC Ember mid. Now is OG going to go for that counter pick in the hands of Thompson? Really, not many other teams have touched Monkey King in this tournament. Other picks that we're thinking about here?
Kind of looking right now. I'm not sure. I don't like Monkey that much here on this spot.
There is the Monkey. Again, it's about player. All right. So guys, really quickly, final thoughts on this draft here. Can Newbee even this series up?
I think they have the tools to do it, more so than the first game. I think CCNC is on he's still on a playmaking hero. He was a Tiny last game, but I think this is a playmaking hero that scales. Tiny, he scales, but you need 10,000 gold to scale. You need Ags and a Daedalus to kind of go into the mid-game physical damage, late game. But Ember, you need, drums, Maelstrom, BKB.
All right. We've got game 2 just about to get underway, but first we got a special treat for you. Here is Casey, together with the guy that keyed OG's run at Epicenter, OG Coach Sakshka. Absolutely perfect.
I'm shocked. I'm baffled. And the takeaway from game number 1, I think a large amount of confidence also. But game 2, no Ana IO. We're going to change it up, but we're coming back to an. It's the set Magnus. It's the pop up on the Juggernaut.
It's good to hear from the coach that they like winning.
Yeah.
There's always something you're not really sure about, and that you trust in your own best strategies and feel good when you get them.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
He was glowing. He was glowing. He looked like he was having a great time. So if that's a reflection of what the team atmosphere is like, then OG are in a great spot right now. They just seem super happy, all of them.
Yep.
So, all right, let's get into the game. As Sakshka pointed out, they do have their Magnus strat, and they did play the IO last game, so 2 of OG's absolute staples they have been given in this series. I still feel like this game will probably be closer than the previous one, because this should be something Newbee are more accustomed to playing against.
Yeah.
That's a bit more standard, if you will. And speaking of comfort picks, they've got plenty of them themselves. They've got Snaking on Enchantress, they've got the MSS Shaker, Ember Spirit for CCNC, Yawar Sven, and Pilot Sharium. There's actually, like, for these players, all of the heroes that they're playing are probably one of their 3.
Just seeing CC and him into that playmaker. If Matt's able to get a big combination too.
And there's one thing, I don't know if they talked about this on the panel, but there's one thing about Shadow Demon against Magnus that's really interesting. If you Demonic Purge
together, they're very tanky, they hit very hard, but Pilot plays from range. As long as Yua's got mana, he can always have his stun available too. And then the safe lane, Ana and Notal together, once again, this dual lane sync that OG gets so well in all their lanes.
Nature attend us.
The reason, by the way, that this Shaker and Enchantress work so well together is that Enchantress is an extremely independent hero. Just give her a little bit of help and she can solo pretty much any dual lane in the game.
So MSS
So MSS gets freedom to move. and doesn't have to steal too much experience from the offlaner.
He's can't really help kill the mid lane though. Like this isn't like you're running like a burst style here. The chain stuns. Like CCNC gets second point up in Flame Guard now. MSS gonna send in the illusions. Actually potentially gonna body block up the courier. Now with the fissure stun, CCNC, they're bringing him low. Thompson gets a life steal up again, but they're just trying to burn him out. The fissure wall is gonna break in just a couple of seconds. Thompson, he's gonna live through this. No way, they can't let this happen. Simon gets the pull down right now. CCNC, he against OG. And Newbee, they needed a win like this. They needed something to go their way. One game down, and that's a good start, but it's just the start.
And that was a super close call too. They almost couldn't see with the full Evolution Flame Guard being up top.
Wow, there's a lot of damage from Yawa into Jirax. Pylite Dive's already got the poison stacks up. Jirax will go invis quickly. That's just Stormhammer. MSS is arriving. Jirax is fine inside the tree lines. He has stick charges available as well as, well, he's being a cannibal right now, eating tangos. They really want to have a crack at bottom. MSS, actually, can they? There's no mana on Sven. He doesn't have a stun available, and CCNC, for all that great work he does, he's still playing against Thompson. He gets his own back.
That's really bad news, because as the panel talked about earlier, when it comes to combat kills, if you're behind in this mid lane and you get a return kill, you're leading. And at this point, Monkey King is now far ahead in the lane. He's going to hit level 5 before the Ember Spirit of CCNC, and he's probably going to be relegated to the jungle relatively early. Thompson's going in. They will get fissured. Are they just going to be trading kills with these guys?
Yeah, they're going to jump, but my god, MSS.
Got him on the wrong side.
Yeah, that's a melee hero, guys. Thompson is asking to hold hands with CCNC while up on the top. Naking's in trouble. Has to trick off Nature's attendants as Anna and Noratel did their combination. Bottom lane, the root's out. Yawa trying to move back. Pylite die. He hasn't have a save. He's already used the destruction. And they're almost out of consumables. MSS will arrive in the lane. They're pinging out Jirax, but I don't think they can really do anything there. There's one Stormbolt available for Sven.
And MSS, he had the right idea in mid. Both times he's ganked, he's tried to fake out the fissure so that it doesn't get dodged, as Snaking should be okay here.
Yeah, couldn't get the body block absolutely perfect. There's that fight on bottoms. They waited a long time for it. They committed those abilities we were looking for.
Oh, CCNC again.
Going again. Yeah. He won't even die to the tower. He switches the aggro at the very last moment. So only got to hit once by the tower.
And you see, he's making use of the mid-chip. That's what MSS did well when he ganked mid, is that he fakes out the mid-chip on the fissure so that it doesn't dodge the damage. But the last fissure was on the wrong side. Thompson gets another kill, and now...
He's a beast.
What do you do in mid? This is a big problem. This is a Monkey King that won its lane, has top CS in the game, and has Empower. Thompson is already 1,000 gold ahead in the mid lane.
2.8k net worth compared to the 1.8k as Sven. That's the difference between the number 1 OG and Newbee. And now you look for the bounty runes. A 2-2 trade-off. Thompson gets forced back. CCNC had to back off. MSS will drop down the observer wall. And maybe we'll try and work with Pylite Die. If Thompson gets a little aggressive, which, hey, it's Thompson. MSS is the fissure, but Thompson hits the first attack. He's going to wait the fissure out. No-Tail's also arrived. And Thompson, mischief once again. MSS down the fissure block. Holds in No-Tail as well as Thompson. The poison stack's put over on Thompson, but they can get him for the other kill. No-Tail, a quick fire fish from CCNC will claim it. But they don't get the one they're looking for. They don't get Thompson. It's going to salve up and get ready to go once more.
He's drawing so much attention to himself that Ana just has a completely free game right now on the Juggernaut.
So does Seb.
When Enchantress hits level 6, actually never mind, because No-Tail rotating off of top relieved some pressure from Snaking, and when Snaking gets level 6, this lane is not inhabitable for Juggernaut anymore. Fortunately, he can jungle with Empower, so he's probably going to be connecting with Seb relatively soon when Seb has level 3 Empower. Maybe they will start playing a little bit closer to each other, because this top lane is not fun anymore.
A little bit of wasted time of Thompson hunting inside the jungle. If he caught Yawa, it would have been great. But MSS forever just trying to make life a little bit more difficult for OG. Defensive spirits are up for CCNC. So unless they get perfect control, CCNC should always have a get out of jail free card. Bottom lane underneath the tier 1 tower, Yoan just TPs away. That leaves Pylai dying. He's looking for some kind of rebuttal onto Seb. Creates a couple of copies of Anna. That's what most amount of damage Pylai can do here. It's done into a spin. Anna around the tower. Pylai dying. Won't be able to survive. While in mid lane they keep on going. Thompson and Notel together. Spirit jump forward from CCNC. Doesn't defend anymore. And then can't actually cast a feature, so he's one. Has to come in. Monkey King, the stun control. MSS is trying to be there for it, but Thompson still getting the run into the trees. That's his way around. Of course, Notel with the slow. CCNC, he's not done yet. He still wants more. TP back, bottle up, but Thompson's too fast. He's going to walk back to the tier 1 tower.
And that is space with capital S created in mid by Notel as well as Thompson. They're forcing so many defensive rotations out of Newbee, and that's going to cost them their bottom tower. They rotated Ana down here and gave him a power, so he took that, and he's going to keep his farming going.
Snake
the uninhabitable lane. They'll play the tree end up here.
She got so much damage from snaking.
He's fine.
Yeah, he is for the moment. Jarek did look for the denial on the tower, and Radiant, no, it's going to be the catapult because the last hit. While MSS catches out Notel walking up, understanding that first little bit of damage from the Enchantress had Notel so low.
It's a good grab from Newbee. They need to get something going their way. The only lane that has truly gone well this game is Snaking's, so they playing around him, getting his tower is very useful. And you imagine, I don't think this is the kind of game where you just want your Enchantress to sit in the off lane and just stay up here for like 10 minutes, just pressuring the top tower. I think he needs to get involved for his team to get the mid tower and put some pressure on the Monkey King. CCNC diving pretty far here with Flame Guard. Just cleaning up the wave and he'll be jumping out in no time.
It's like he's now trying to bring the attention, get it off the side lanes, get it away from the recovering Sven, away from, well, I suppose the Enchantress, who's still is adding pressure up on top lane. Feels like I'm watching Ice. It's like, yeah, so I took the tier 1 tower. I'm still not going to leave.
He'll stay here a little bit, but then I still think the mid rotation is the play to make. Oh, they're going to go for him instead.
Yeah, Thompson's moving in. The observe ward was planted, but won't matter. Taking triggers off the attendants. Difficult for Thompson to build up these stacks, however, but Notel will slow him down. They'll get the stuns out, and the Inkswell will connect, but they're still healing through everything. Double braces, and Thompson can at least mischief dodge one of the hits, but in mid lane, CCNC jumping in, has no searing chain, so he can't hold Seb there. Needed MSS's stun to connect, but it won't happen.
He's playing some really good aggressive pressure, though, forcing rotation from OG and getting some tower damage in soon for hopefully for him. But yep, guess what? We didn't talk about this, but Jarex can heal towers this game. So if you want to grab towers, you need a successful team fight that overwhelms the opponent. This chip damage is not mattering too much.
This nice observer and sentry up on top. If Jirax runs the northern trees, it'll be fine. If he runs to the southern trees, won't be as great. MSS can have a future block him up, and Snaking is able to claim this quite simply. And CCNC is just going for support as well. Notel into the tier 2. Again, no searing chains, however. He's got the sleight of fist, but needs to burn Notel down a little bit more before that will be successful. In very deep, but it won't matter. But you'll always know there's an escape way for CCNC.
Bounty runs. 2 for 2 it looks like. CCNC trying to get the bottom run. Lots of things coming out from Notel, but it's too late. They're not in position.
It's a nice one for CCNC, a double damage rune. And he's still going to the TP back to base.
So some nice gold here from the couple of kills. He had a very, very hard start, and he is still behind the Monkey King. But this could have snowballed out of control if they didn't make the correct adjustments. And at least now it looks like CCNC will be having a game.
You dead.
And Seb's the man who has to hold the tower, faking the RP out. No way he's going to trigger that until Thompson comes in range. Now he might do it. CCNC, the RP will go down. Flame is protecting him nicely. And they got the start to CCNC does go down. The vision from MSS comes a second too late. And Seb perched up, skewers himself back to the safety of the tier 1 tower. Seb, you know he's smiling himself at the booth right there. I faked you once and you thought I was going to fake you a second time. Definitely not what happened.
If he had a mid lane ward, he wouldn't have died, because then he knows the Monkey is connecting. OG were banking on the fact that Thompson was not visible running down the lane, and that was indeed the case. There was no vision for Newbee in that instance, and they didn't have any defensive supports there. None of the two were there.
Comes out, snaking, got to get the hell out of there. Man, it looks beautiful. Thompson. Now snaking's actually with the attendants, thinking about fighting inside the command. And with a TP support arriving, no Wukong, no RP available. They still don't push the tier 1 tower because they haven't pushed it. The living armor still kicking in. And what does OG do? It's just Meepo in real life for it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly.
That's a lot of damage, and you want dead under the tier 1 tower. Level Omni, but totally isolated Sven.
That should not be happening. That's a huge kill too.
Thanks.
Furthering the space between these two carries. Ana got 400 gold for
Illusion.
kill, and Sven obviously on the sidelines for 30 seconds, not farming a single bit of gold, as Ana's calling out an ancient stack, so he's overtaking the Sven now by 1,500.
And
The next level,
it's just all the economy going the way of OG. Experience a crack at 3 grand. And what do you really get in return? Jiras can just keep hiding inside the trees. And someone's bringing in dust, and it looks like MSS will be the man to do that. But he's right underneath the tire observer ward. So Jirak sees it all.
He's level 4 living armor. Level 8 on the Treant. There's so much space created for multiple heroes really in OG lineup. It's not just the Jugger that's enjoying some freedom. The Treant getting freed up and getting all this farm to working toward a Meteor Hammer, getting the 4 levels in armor to protect towers.
Really, Sam? The Legion loser baits out once again, fakes the RP. And CCNC just looking for some early harassment, but he's realizing that tower, all the hard work he did before, it's all gone to waste.
And that's the logic of playing this Treant and Magnus together, right? There's multiple synergies. One is Mag wants to play slow, so he needs his map protected while you're farming up. You have the Treant protectors to keep the towers alive. And the other thing is, well, you've got the living arm and the power for your carries. You can get carries, the Axis in trouble, but it's going to overgrow, run away. Once again, just making space for OG to hit that timing later.
Yeah. The scouts at Notel. RP is back off cooldown for Seth.
Radiant just fortified.
They're really waiting out this mid. Thompson will move over too. Bumped up by the Empower, ready to fight. ES hides in the tree line. Thompson jumps in. Now ES gets the double stun. And space to move back, pick up the regeneration rune. Snaking around the corner and push back to the other side of the finisher. He can't attend that position.
The next level.
Newbee's lineup can't get this tower. Actually, I just don't think it's possible right now. Yeah. The mid tower is going to be exceptionally hard to take. The Sven needs time to farm. The living armor and the just overall defensive team fight from OG is super strong. Like if you go into any dangerous area, you could get overgrowth, you could get RP'd, you could get skewered, and even fighting against Monkey King that could be in the trees. So there's so much. It's almost like playing against Tukis if heroes are missing. Like, you don't know where you're safe at all in this game with both the Treant and Monkey King and this hidden mobility ready to jump you at any point.
And Seb's making it so difficult to battle that bottom rune out. Well, CCNC still able to claim it, walks into Anna, realizing he's so low. There is the Omnisash with the sleight of fist. He's running through it, and Anna, spirit jump away. Wastes the ultimate.
I think he had to stay alive.
Yep.
He had to put CCNC away from him with a really nice side dodge on the Phantom's Embrace.
Looks like they're going to try and fight.
Yeah. Now there's no
Omnislash.
Omnislash. And they know there's no RP.
And CCNC wants to get in there. Like, he's got drums up and running. Paradise got purged. They're looking for a target. Thompson's probably going to be it. He pounces up into the tree lines. No tell. Well, he'll have to turn into it. And able to get the double stun off. Ember Spirit, Side of Fist coming off cooldown right now. No tell can't walk away. He knows it. But now if you're going to commit to this newbie, they have to take the tower.
They can't get this.
They can't. TP's already coming in. Doubles in. And through the back line. He does have the Omnisash with the control stuns. The save for Pilot Eye is essential. G, Durax catches out 3. CCNC, there's no way out. He's got no mana. He's totally dry and dead. And OG love it. That's now the 4th death on this mid of Newbee. Well, theirs is sitting on 5 kills for 1 death.
game, OG will just continue playing at the same pace. Oh, disruption.
Yeah,
He built up the round. He did, and now Pilot has
Actually, almost looked like grabbed that while he was inside the disruption.
It's nice. Invisibility.
Anna looking for his own kill. Stun onto the Enchantress. Anna knows he's got the level 4 spin. It's the damage that doesn't care about physically attacking in, while Seb hiding under the Invis rune. He's just out of range of the tower, but if he RPs, he'd instantly kill off CCNC. But he's playing the max range of that tower detection. And the other pings are coming towards top lane. Yoa farming up quite heavily, but it's Jirax who's stalking him. The sentry wall will be planted. Yoa, he knows he's in trouble. He has to TP instantly, but Thompson's already here. Yoa should not be able to escape this. Thompson up into the trees. Yoa actually cuts him down quickly. Tries to juke. He got it right instead of left, but the stun from Thompson checks right. And Yoa into the Wukong. Nope, he's going to Stormhammer him. Cancel that one, but now man, they just want to burn ultimate. Dropping the RP, bringing down Yoa.
Which makes his Blink Dagger build up a lot slower. And because of that, Newbee, their options of setting up those fights in the first place are pretty weak, right? If you can't force the enemy team to defend very easily because you don't have pushing power, they can kind of take it slow, farm camps, play the map, and then, oh, top lane at CCNC.
They're going again, but defensive. Spirit gets him out.
Not sure what Thompson is expecting there.
It's like a snot, man. This guy runs away from me.
Autographs out front.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Maybe later today you will, Thompson.
But OG are completely in their element in this game. They have a huge lead. They're playing with Magnus. They're going to go late game. They have 2 melee cores that both use Empower. And one of them is... I feel like Monkey King is really good against Sven just because it's hard for Sven to navigate the arena. Even if he does and fight into the Monkey King, you have all this armor.
Highlights found a target. It's going to be Seb. They're trying to slow him down with a push. Snaking will arrive, throwing out the input, and the Max gives some extra life. Snaking is going to work a little hard for this. And then in towards Anna. Keep in mind, he has the Omni Slash available. Everyone not totally trapped, but they know they can't kill him. Because you just go into the Omni Slash. So CCNC feels like he's trying to bait the Omni Slash once again. But Anna doesn't care. He's got living armor. He's got 21 charges. He's got the Diffuser blade of his own as well, and he knows exactly where the Spirit is planted down by CCNC. So he goes Diffuse. He's taking MSS, gonna walk in, needs to land in that double stun, just goes for the Echo Slam, straight onto Notel. They can at least bring the support on the destruction of Anna. Notel, he is forced up by the Impetus, and he's being out, he's able to escape. They needed him so bad. They get nothing.
Oh, they get it at Grim.
They get, okay, they got something, but it's like getting a poor game after playing on Wheel of Fortune. It's not what you're really searching for.
That's a pretty good analogy, actually.
Thompson jumps down around, looking for snaking. Trying for that Echo save to work with. Pigeon walks him in, but a 3-man stun. Like a cake! OG! They would love to get CCNC too, but he will spirit away. Oh, it's just too easy. Are they even trying?
Yeah, they set them up for that one, to be honest. I don't think that play had any chance of being successful out of Newbee. But it's so easy for us to say, right? Because they're probably feeling a bit desperate too. They're like, we don't make any plays, we lose. And if we make plays, we lose. So
it's like we need to try something.
Something has to happen, but I just don't think it's possible without the Sven. You probably have to wait for this guy's timing to get something done.
RP and Wukong's down. MSS is coming over. CTNC's going to have a look in the pit. They see the status of Roshan. A quick silent. And a spread from Hotel. Some in the back line. Highlight high. Actually, just Magnus really caught out. Skewers back over. Joins the rest of his team. Gets a 5-man mech. And MSS is trapped. He can't do much more. Now the Omni Slash up the hill. Well, it's all going to go into Yoa. He can take through that. Anna, of course, he's got more survivability. Into the spin. Newbee still on the retreat back out. Snaking trying to do some level of damage. Making Anna a lot lower. Snaking needs to keep the distance up. Thompson meantime killing the BS in the back line. But now they go for more. Hulk together. It's all the embrace of death that Newbee just have to accept. Their own expired shrine, they go down. And Thompson's not done yet, he wants more. But hey, go for Roshan, objective-based gaming.
OG are making it look easy. It's not as easy as it looks. Because I feel like they've really got control of the game, and there's so much in this game that depends on tempo. That's how every Magnus game is. It's can you get those 2 towers so that the enemy can't farm their jungle safely with Empower? Can you counter the core that is getting the Empower in the first place? And Newbee's tempo, when you look at their lineup, it comes from mid. CCNC needs to have a good game for things to happen here, and he didn't. So now they have to wait for Sven to have a good game, which he also isn't having. So it's a lot of waiting. It's a lot of hard fights to take.
They have to get the farm into MS. 100 gold for the Blink Dagger.
Yep.
Then maybe they stand a chance. BKB set for Yawar. Like, if these things are up, then there's a possibility. But there's also a possibility Thompson can just initiate in on whoever the hell he wants to as well. Takes the team.
Echo Saber build. Putting it to use here.
Yeah, straight to the Wukong. SD's coming over. Needs to get the disruption over on Snaking. Purchase Thompson is CCNC. Thinks about having a play. Thompson's on the edge of the tree and leaps away to safety.
Forces rotation again.
Yep. CNC is bouncing around the lanes.
OG complete map control. Even though Newbee have wards out, it feels like they can't use the wards to get a fight going their way. And OG, okay?
Yeah.
Just go high ground, they don't have Aegis.
You got Thompson with an Aegis multiplier. Hey, just
we're talking about the Aegis.
Catching out on 3. MS is still waiting for the point. Blink and there he goes. Only breaks the Aegis Immortal. But hey, here's something. You'll take it. The Jirax, he's into the back lines. They see him now over in the trees. He sees so much snaking. Still trying to beat that front liner for the team. Watch those buybacks. If it can be possible. Actually cancelling off the RP. So it can't get off. There's no buybacks available for the 2 Newbee deaths. And they need Snaky to have that big damage. So that's the one the ESC. Time to step up for the BKB. It's worn off. And it goes back to the fight with the Feudal. They're purging on Thompson. Maybe with the damage from CCNC, they can actually get a little bit more out there. Slider fist. Finally, Thompson's streak will be ended. Jirax is low as well. CCNC will get back-to-back kills. Anna, steering chain down Cardai. What else have you got? Another slide. He's getting rid of the creep wave. At least they're keeping their racks alive here, Newbee. But they won't get much more. A great sleight of fist dodge, just dodging the Inkswell of Anna. The tier 3 tower is still taken. OG, it wasn't the perfect fight from them. You got a sleight of fist series. Oh, in the trees. Not quite right, but
for a second there, I thought Anna was maybe going to stop his TP and try to turn that. CCNC was super low on mana, but you would have put it past them. They got out there. No, I wouldn't have been too surprised, but yeah, Newbee, they do defend. That was honestly a really good hold by countering out the Magnus RP, not allowing it to come off this fissure. And, well, not this one, the next one. That's the Aegis. OG are going to reset. And then decide to go in. And they're going in here without Wukong's command and without the Aegis that they just lost. And they forced an Echo out with that. And this Stormhammer, it's kind of lucky. He's actually skewing into the Stormhammer, so they get the time to react and get the fissure off. And that's the defense.
You see the ability for Yawar to actually stand in the protection of the BKB, but after that it's just so hard. Anna coming up. Well, I think OG have marked his territory. Anna will be Fisher blocked in. Thompson, however, he doesn't care. Yawar has to be AP.
Rogue Knight claims another.
Such pressure and maneuverability. Yeah, the draft battle was like, well, you know what? I really like the monkey, but it doesn't matter when Thompson's playing it. You pick it for the player. And my God, as he shined on this hero. He even gave away the death in the mid lane. Then after that, it's like, no, you had something, but now you have nothing.
Oh, the death ended up favoring him because he got a kill right after, right? If you the moment he gets the solo kill on CCNC, the lane is a big win.
You trying to say like intentional feed?
That's not what I'm
Let's not go that far.
That's not what it looked like.
Blink Echo's off.
Oh, Pilot Eye.
Still only level 1 and
High's dead, I think.
Yeah, that's a little bit problematic. Creates a disruption over on Jirax. Future tries to create some more space and maybe they can get that kill into the tree and protect before he get the overgrowth off. Able to do so. The Jirax is down. Thompson into the Wukong's command, but very much away from the rest of Newbee as they just wait out the soul mine. Thompson doesn't want to leave just yet. CCNC, who's his target? Anna hits the Omni Slash, but the Yule Scepter is wasting all of it. The RP will catch out CCNC, but defender destruction. Pilot Eye got it off just in time. The X-1, the Dark Control, maybe with a thought. Yawar looking for the cleave damage, but he closed the distance over on Snaking. Everyone's just delta split. They can't catch him out. He can reach to the ground. And the buybacks that came in from Newbee, they want to fight around the shrines, but now it's going to be Pylai Dieful, and Thompson's gone after MSS for a triple kill from him. It'll be Anna who claims the life and a double kill against Pylai Die. And Seb, he's also looking for his own fight. Everyone's having their own engagement. CCNC trying to bring down Seb. It won't be enough though. The Yulsefs are up. My bad indeed. Skewer short. Great side of fit. CCNC is actually going to claim that life. But they're hunting. Diffusal blade. Spirit defensively up and back with the side of fit searing chains. He's just trying to play the game until he's got TV in 5 seconds time. Notification will stop OG from instantly assaulting the base. And Newbee, they're playing scrappy, but they're playing still.
OG's fights are so good. The way they're positioning their heroes, the way they're playing off each other, using cooldowns correctly. Even though the Thompson Wukong command isn't that good, they create so much space and so much time for the rest of the team to be set up for success. And they just keep weaving in and out, not stacking on top of each other. Until the Sven Stormhammer in the end, there was like no opportunity really presented for Newbee in that fight. And a nice detail from CCNC on the way out there. At least they have that going for them, which is nice, but it's a very minor consolation prize to have your mid-hero survive and get one kill there.
This is just one of those games where you've got to kind of remain optimistic for both sides. So let's have a look at this once again. So Paradise, it all starts with him being initiated on. But they catch out Jirax at the beginning. On.
Shadow Demon, they used no big spells, so all ulti's ready. Could try to start protecting Roshan. He can spawn in 20 seconds. Just get control of that area. Looks like what Notel is drawing right now. So we're going to play up here. Keep pushing in the top lane if possible. Perhaps. Maybe they're going to cut waves with Thompson.
You got Roshan that could spawn in 10 seconds time, so controlling the northern side.
Yep. Thompson's going to cut the wave.
There is no gank that comes the opposite direction, because that really feels like Newbee's last hurrah. OG, overconfident, sit inside the pit, you just hit this amazing echo, and actually give space for Yawar to do damage during that control. But he can't be the only one. Yawar doesn't have the damage output required to get through this OG lineup. CCNC is actually able to grab one of the 30-minute runes. Make it 2 of them. Hey, you'll take the money.
For my coffers.
That's enough for Uzmionya, but he won't have buyback available if he does it.
It kind of feels like one of those games where Ember needs to go physical damage. I don't know if they can kill the Jugger and deal with the massive AoE teamfight of OG if they don't have a heavy burst. Maybe the magic burst can be enough. You're obviously making the enemy team a lot, giving them a lot more value out of armor. Both Sven and Ember are doing physical damage, but you still have the pure damage of Enchantress, and you have the magic damage of Shaker.
I was really lucky to survive that. Jirax's blink came just a fraction of a second too late. Newbee's doing the best they possibly can. Seb pulls away. Those trees regrew very quickly. Skewered through them and they instantly spawn back up. It's like a pop-up book.
Actually, I take it back. I don't think physical damage is a solution either. That's one of Juggernaut's biggest strengths, is 50 armor. The itemization options for CCNC, there's nothing that feels amazing. It's just, he's gonna get this Mjolnir so he gets more damage. Overall, like more mixed damage, has maybe the, we'll get some value out of the static shield. I forgot what it's called. It's not called static shield. Static charge, right? Static charge. I think it's called static charge.
Dire's bottom tower.
But the guy who has to deal damage here
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
and kill this Jugger is actually snaking, I think. That's the biggest damage source they have, but Jugger now with the butterfly is going to have all the evasion. He's going to get maybe an Aegis, unless they give it to Thompson's Monkey King again, which I wouldn't put past him. He's way less tanky than the Jugger. He needs it a lot more. And maybe to set. So far, the backpack for Ana.
Smoke came very late. You saw Snaking actually turn around after Roshan died. They're 4-man smoking out. They're looking for an opportunity. Jirak, he's hunting CCNC. Thompson about to bounce forward. The smoke breaks on the enchantment. They have to kill off Jirak so quickly. Yawar, BKB, God Strength, they're going to be able to do so. So down goes Jirak. No buyback available, but in the backline, Snaking, the man that has to do the damage, is stuck into Wukong's command with the thumb from Notel. They'll hold him there. Snaking tanks through a lot, but he can't tank through all of it. CCNC, no defensive spirit available. He has the kill scepter. Silenced up for the moment. Needs a little bit more space to work with, and that's why up, down, and around. The stun from Notel won't be able to reach, but he'll be able to hit. No, he doesn't hit with the stroke of fate. Another banishment by Li Dark. Back maybe needed here for Snaking. RP catching out your. He had no BKB. He had no ball strength. He had no real presence. They can walk back with the lost CCNC. Thompson just did it solo underneath the racks, which they're looking to take now. Fortification slows down the push from OG, but definitely won't stop it. And look, he's even with the double damage rune on the end of Ana. Was thinking about tier 4 towers, but okay, back to reasonable objectives. Gonna be the mid. Not pulling an RV right now. Take all the objectives, get the megas up and running. Good stun.
Okay,
just want to have a closer inspection of Shadow Demon. Finish your stun out over on Thompson. Now, again, Mischief. Such a problem for Snaking to keep hitting that impetus. Pilot Eye. Disruption. Now, impetus is going out towards Ana. He'll jump away, stop ball. Thompson, he's real deep, remember. Aegis Immortal, he's happy to take it through. As long as they can get a rebuttal kill. Ana snapping towards the air. Snaking getting some time to heal up. He's got 9 punch charges. He needs that time. The Pilot Eye, another disruption. No, with 1 second 20. He's stuck around, and all he can do is just disrupt the attacking Ana. Snaking back into this damage. Over to Monkey King. They really want Thompson dead. He's such a huge chunk of the damage as Ana runs forward. Can't get the Inkswell stun out, but he'll have the only. Oh my God. Together you die. Together you GG. Newbee around. OG have knocked them down to the lower bracket in more than dominating. And the Ire, which dominated in game 1. We just come back to Seb Classic Magnus, Thompson styling, and OG looking in the same type of form. They were there at the last TI, and they want to carry their whole way through this upper bracket.